Let's bring in, it's like 8:25, and I see he's in the room. We'll bring him in a little bit early.
Good
Phil,
morning.
what's up, dude?
Good morning.
What's happening? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Good.
You look very good. You want to say where you're at? Looks like you're at work.
I am at work. I don't know if I don't think we can advertise that on here. We haven't struck a deal to advertise with you guys yet.
Dude, come on, man. But look, man, I appreciate you hanging out this morning. Phil is kind of like, I'll call him our resident movie guy, because you turned me on to Die Hard, which I did not watch. We had this discussion around Christmas time,
Right.
if Die Hard was a Christmas movie or not. And if I remember right, dude, you were at the airport, like working your way through traffic and trying to get on an airplane while you were talking to me about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Correct. That was Christmas time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, man, I guess it may have been almost around the same time. Maybe it was Thanksgiving, Christmas-ish last year. You had sent me the link to a movie called Cocaine Bear, and I think it was the trailer. And
I probably sent that trailer to probably several hundred people that week. I just couldn't believe that this kind of a movie was being made.
yeah, and when I hit you back, I'm like, "Is this real?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's real. Cocaine Bear is real." Now, the movie is based on the events, because in real life, like the bear ate the cocaine, right? But then the bear died.
Right.
The bear didn't go through all what happened in the movie. And I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I didn't want to ruin it for anyone who maybe wanted to go see it. I mean, we are going to talk about it a little bit more right now. But Phil, you have, and you hadn't used it in a while, you have your own Fill Me In on Film Facebook page.
Right. I'm going to probably start that back, get more active with that again. I had taken a break from that for a while. I just didn't have the time to put energy and time into it, but I'm going to start that back up again. I enjoy it.
So, are you a movie guy? Like, is that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I lived in a small town, and we didn't have much as far as entertainment. So what we did have was our movie theaters, and that's where I spent a lot of my weekends, Friday, Saturday nights, going to see these movies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this is what you said about Cocaine Bear. You say, and I'm going to quote it. I have what you wrote here. Cocaine Bear is bearable. The highly anticipated film paws itself in at 90 minutes, and as long as you don't go in with high expectations, you'll be somewhat entertained. The creator and director, Elizabeth Banks, brings an original story to screen. However, the story itself is a very weak, as are the characters and situations they get involved with. The director does not give the audience enough time with the bear, and that's the whole reason the audience is there for. The film felt very slow, even at 90 minutes, and the character development is slim to none. The film does not take itself too seriously, and that's a good thing. The film is mindless fun, nonetheless, so enjoy. 2.5 stars.
I think it's a fair review of the film.
Mm-hmm. I'm along those same lines, because I was expecting, like you, a little bit more of the bear. And for being 90 minutes, there were some parts that moved slow. I wasn't expecting it to be, and I don't think gory is the right word, but I didn't expect the guy to have a hole in his head from a gun. I wasn't expecting that. What was your take on it?
As far as the movie goes, I wanted to see more of the bear. They had all these different characters and all these different stories, and they never really developed any of them. So what's the point of having all these different characters, all these stories, when we're here to see a bear? That's what we want to see. The bear on cocaine doing crazy stuff, and it just wasn't enough of it.
No. It's almost like what was in the trailer and what they showed of the bear was really like all what they showed in the movie. It wasn't very much of the bear. What's his face, man? Ice Cube's son was in it.
Yes.
And Ray Liotta. They didn't really show much of Ray Liotta either until the end. You know, and again, I don't want to mess it up for anybody that didn't watch it, but the end of the movie kind of threw me for a loop too, because I remember looking at my phone and seeing that it was close to the end, because I read it was at about 90 minutes. And I'm like, wait a minute, the movie's almost over. How are they going to get from the forest back to their vehicles? You know, like what's going to be the trek back? And they didn't even show any of that. It was just automatically back in their vehicles. I don't know, man. I thought it was questionable, but I did go in without high expectations. I mean, I wasn't going in to think that they would win an Oscar or some kind of award or anything like that. So I agree with you there. If you don't go in with high expectations, you will probably like it.
Now, what I will say, I'll give the director Elizabeth Banks credit for making a film, and she kept the budget right around $30 million, and I think they've pretty much made their money back just this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So I give them credit for making a small budget film. It doesn't have to be these over the top extract box office films where you're making $100 million. I'm putting $150 million into the movie and just recouping a little bit of your money back. It's a $30 million film, and she got her money back on it this weekend. So I give her credit for that. And it was an original story. So
yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, I think worldwide it might have been 28 million this weekend, and then I think the domestic box office might have been at 23. So you're right; they just about made their money back. I got a comment from Brent. He says, "I met someone last night that had the same complaint. He wanted to see more of the bear, and we didn't see much of the bear. You know, I thought the I guess the graphics that they use for the bear, for the gore, for the limbs, I thought that was pretty good too. Like, it wasn't as cheesy as what I was kind of expecting either. I thought that was pretty good.
Right. If you like films like Sharknado or Snakes on a Plane and any of those type of films, you'll enjoy it. It's fun, but like I said, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you think there's a part 2? No.
No, they don't need to make. They'll go in a different direction. They can make another film along the same lines, but it won't be another Cocaine Bear movie. I think they've worn that one out.
It may end up making more money, on demand or something like that. So some of these movies do. Not many people want to go and give their hard-earned money to watch Cocaine Bear in the movie theater. They're just going to wait for it to be released on Amazon Prime or something like that. And they may end up making just as much money on that as they did at the box office.
Correct.
But the box office these days, man, movies are not making big money like they did years back.
In fact, I went to the theater last night. I was the only one in the theater. Mm-hmm. It was a Monday afternoon, 4:00 showing, and I was the only one in that whole theater. And the rest of the cinema looked like it was a ghost town in there, honestly.
Yep. I mean, but what are the blockbusters out right now? Maybe Avatar 2. Is that the only huge movie that's?
Well, they got the new Ant-Man movie, and then and then this Friday the new Creed movie is coming, Creed 3, and it's got very good reviews. So I will probably be going to see that either Friday or Saturday, and it's gonna do well this weekend.
I think I need to go see that too. I'm a huge Rocky fan. Rocky 4 is my favorite out of the two, when Rocky takes down communist Russia. But I did not think, coming back to that real quick, I did not think they would draw on the Creed series as long as what they did. I didn't think they would get into a Creed 3. I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they are. Mm-hmm. They honestly, I think they might even surpass the original Rocky trilogy. Yeah.
But these are really good movies.
They are. Yep. Anything else you're looking to go and watch, or anything?
The new John Wick.
Okay.
John Wick's coming out, and that film with the talking dogs and called Strays comes out this summer. That looks like it might be pretty funny.
Yeah. Yep. And I did see, and it didn't. The previews before Cocaine Bear, if I remember right, they had Shazam. I saw that one, and then the other one was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes.
Now, I haven't watched any of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but what I thought was cool, and we don't hear much 90s music, 2000s music in movies these days. They're still going back to the old classics, and Guardians of the Galaxy was known for that. Like, they had some 60s and 70s music in their soundtrack. But did you see the Guardians of the Galaxy preview that came on?
I have, and it looks very good.
Now, did you hear the song that they're using?
That was Space Hog.
It was Space Hog in the meantime, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. It was a different version. It was like a slowed down version of the original. I thought that was cool, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Do we hear some 90s rock on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack? And I guess we'll have to wait and see if that happens.
Very good.
So I thought that was cool.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. I have to get back to work, but it was been a pleasure speaking with you, Chris.
Yep, absolutely,
Peace
man.
out.
Get back to work, dude. Thanks for your time. All right, man. See ya. So appreciate Phil joining in this morning, and he told me he only had probably about 10 minutes or so. But he's a big movie guy. You can find him, Phil Martin, on Facebook, and you can also find Fill Me In on Film, which is his other Facebook page, and he's going to start doing more movie reviews. But Brent said Creed 3 should be a banger. And I think it's going to be. Like, my favorite Creed, and I think it's because Rocky 4 is my personal favorite. And then when, Creed fought Ivan Drago's son, that was my favorite Creed. But Creed 3 should be pretty good.